I wanted to show you about some science experiments in Kerbal Space Program. So the ones you can do early on in the game. Right here is the science tab and the experiments. You have the mystery goo, which you start with by default, the thermometer, the pressure sensor, and if you get a little bit more down the tech tree, you have the Science Junior. There are other ones as well. Some of these, if they say EDU something, those are not science experiments. They're simply there as educational tools. They can show you like a free body diagram of your rocket, which is neat, but it won't get you the science that we want in the game to get more tools. So it's best when you're going to a new place to bring as many science gizmos as you want, because you get science for every experiment you run. So if your rocket only has the mystery goo, you're only going to get so much science. But if it's got mystery goo and the pressure sensor and the thermometer and the Science Junior, you can get a lot of science out of one location. Now, what do I mean by locations? Turns out that you can get more science by doing science in different places. So if you do a bunch of science, for example, on the launch pad, well, you get some science the first time you do that, but then if you run those same experiments in that same location again, you get basically nothing. So you need to go to different places. What are those places? Well, there's a great page. If you Google KSP Science, then it comes up on the first hit on Google, or you could link this from the LMS. I have the link here, and it's a whole page about science. And if we scroll down to celestial body multipliers, this little list here tells you how much science you're going to get and where you can get it from. So, for example, on Kerbin, if you're on land, you get some science. You get 0.3 times the normal amount of science. So pretty low. If you go into Kerbin's atmosphere, you can either get 0.7 or 0.9 times the normal amount of science. That's a little bit better. And what do they mean by low and high in the atmosphere? Well, they have a border of the atmosphere, which is 18 kilometers or 18,000 meters. So if you want to do science in Kerbin's atmosphere, you should run an experiment below 18,000 meters and then another one of the same kind above 18,000 meters. So run your mystery goo, your temperature sensor, and all your other stuff low, and then bring another couple of those on your spacecraft, run them again when you're high in the atmosphere. And helpfully it tells you when the atmosphere ends. So the atmosphere on Kerbin ends at 70 kilometers. Once you get into space, it's similar. Scroll this down a little bit so you can see space here. In space low, in space high over Kerbin. So you get more science, and the border is 250 kilometers right here. So if you're under 250 kilometers, you're in space low. If you're above that, you're in space high over Kerbin. Do experiments in both sections. We are planning to fly by the Mun. It's not the moon, it's the Mun. And so that will bring us zipping around it in space. So in space by the Mun right here, if you're in space low, you get 3 times the normal amount of science. Now we're talking. And 2 times for in space high. So a nice flyby, you can get both of these. The border is 60 kilometers. So if you are more than 60 kilometers away from the moon, but in the moon's space, you get in space high. If you're closer than that, you get 3 times the amount. So a good Mun flyby will take you well within 60 kilometers, maybe about 30 kilometers, so you'll hit in space high and in space low and get all the science you possibly can from this. So to sum up, if you're visiting places, make sure that you know all the locations you can get science from. Bring enough experiments on board so that you can get science from all these different locations. All right, good luck.